Welcome back to the best shaped state of Michigan. My name is Costa. I'm here in Macomb Township, Michigan in zone 6B. Today is Sunday, May 3rd already. So Sunday, May 3rd. And today I'm gonna go over a couple things I'm noticing in the lawn. And I'm gonna give you basically a heads up as to what's going on in the lawn because I just sharpened my blade with a flap sander. So I'm gonna turn around and show the lawn. This hasn't been mowed in about 9 days. I think I mowed it last Friday and today's Sunday. And we've had a lot of rain. It's been hard to keep up with, but I'm gonna turn around and show you the state of the lawn. And I'm gonna be working on a few different videos at the same time here. So I appreciate everybody for tuning in, and I'm gonna try to keep a bunch of these short. So for this one, this is gonna be about the state of the lawn. So again, right behind me, what you're seeing here, this hasn't been mowed in about 9 days, and it's pretty shaggy, so be prepared. All right. So yeah, like I said, I haven't done this since last Friday. It's getting pretty tall. I was keeping this around between 3/4 and a quarter and 1 1/4. So I just trimmed this up with my little hand scissors. I have a hard time with this edge. You can see I get a little bit of scalping here when I get a little bit too greedy with the string trimmer. So I have the hand scissors, so I'm going to use them. But you can see all my footprints in here. It's getting really long. And we're due for, I think 3 or 4 days of rain again this week. So we get about as much rain in May as we do in April here. Color's doing pretty good. Thickness is doing good. I'm still having some squirrel issues. I got holes in several places. But what I noticed today, let me try to find a spot. Yeah, so here's an example. I was noticing a little bit of tearing on the blade tips, and I have some in just patches in the back where it's like not the desirable grasses. So here's another spot. So I could tell, I feel like I could tell like the last time I mowed, I was like, yeah, I'm definitely going to need to sharpen it. But so now I can tell for sure. Now that this has grown out, this is 9 days of growth, you can really start to see the blade tips getting just a little frayed. I feel like if I were to do this on this mow, I would really pay the price. And this is the time of year when you don't want to kind of gamble with fungus because of the amount of rain that we're getting and the different temperature fluctuations. Like one day it's going to be 70 and then the next day it's going to be 45. Not a whole lot of humidity, but just the amount of rain. And if your blades aren't cut very sharp, you're just kind of opening yourself up for the risk of some diseases here. So I went ahead and sharpened my blade, got that done already. I'm going to give this a mow. I'm probably going to have to mow this 2 or 3 times, which goes into the other video that I'm also in the process of making is an 11-year review on my Ego mower. So, all right, I'm going to start here in my corner that I always do. And this is my quote unquote red Japanese maple from Menards. And this thing is really started to put on a show for me here. I've had it now 3 years, so this might be like a 4-year-old plant. The first year definitely was the sleep where it pretty much did nothing. And I don't even remember if I planted it in the ground that first year, maybe the end of the first year. And then the second year last year was the creep, and it grew quite a bit actually. It grew almost as tall as it is now. But the leaves definitely did not hold their shape and they burnt up real fast. So not sure if that's going to happen this year or not. So this year being the 3rd year with the leap, and I'm pretty excited to see the growth of this tree. Not sure what this plant is. Like I said, it was only labeled as red Japanese maple. So if anybody is seeing this and you're an expert, these are what the leaves look like. I am into Japanese maples, and I know that there might be a dozen or more plants that look like this with a bunch of different names. So this is currently over 6 feet tall. It's planted in the ground and it's probably about 7 feet tall. I hadn't had it staked since about last year. I removed the stake, but we have had crazy amounts of wind where this tree has been bending, almost touching the ground. So I did stake it up yesterday. And I think I'm going to try to find a better way to secure this to my stake here. So anyways, this is my red Japanese maple, and I'm pretty excited about that. Below this here is my Sargentii allium, one of the two, and looking forward to seeing if this is going to come up. Here are my 5 Amsonias. These just pretty much opened up in the last 2 days. These were not open on Sunday on the original video I recorded that I didn't like, but these have all opened up since then, and they're starting to look really, really good. I am thinking about moving the two right here in the back, maybe more towards the front of the flower bed here, the garden bed, closer to the grass side. And I'm not sure if I'm going to do that or not. I've been kind of thinking about it, and I don't know if I move them now, if that's going to risk me killing them. Hopefully not, because it's still just the beginning of May and it's still pretty cool out. This right here is one of my Fireside 9-barks. This is the one I transplanted in the summer that I was pretty sure was dead. I pruned off the branches that were completely black, but it does look like maybe this is it because it hasn't grown since then. Whereas the one next to it is fleshed out really nicely. This one's always been the taller of the three. And then this one here, that's been the shorter, but these are full and they look proper, whereas this one does not. So I think this one might be a loss, which is fine. The only way that I learn is by killing things. So unfortunately, buying in the odd numbers of 3, I usually end up with 2s. So I think my plan going forward is to buy 4s or 2s of things. So if I buy 4, I'll end up with 3, or if I buy 2, I'll end up with 1. So this is one of my winter creepers. This one's looking really healthy. This is the only blue spruce globosa that I have left. It's looking really good. I did spray this with copper fungicide a couple weeks ago. I believe I was supposed to spray it once a week for like 4 weeks straight, and I haven't done that. I was starting to see some like white needle cast, and I'm not seeing it. Here's like the very little bit right here in this area. And I think that it stopped. Because on my other blue spruce globosa, it spread rapidly, and I ended up tearing it out because every couple days I would come out and just be more and more white, and that plant just basically became mush. So, but this one's holding steady. I think going forward, getting any kind of spruce, I would get them on standard, so they're raised from the ground. This little bit of rain that we're getting, I think it's only supposed to be a short-lived little scattering here, so hopefully it's not going to be too bad. Hopefully my camera's not going to get destroyed here, because it is my phone. So this is a Gold Coast juniper, and then one of my sedums here. Can't remember the name of this. I used to think it was I can't remember the name of it now, but it was like the very common sedum, and I don't think that's the name of it. I think this has a different name of like Arctic fire or something like that. I'm not sure what it is, but I did see these at Wiegand's the other day, where it's got this different color, where it's like the yellow and the green, whereas it's as opposed to just being solid. This one's not doing as well though. I have a little dead patch in here, and I have a feeling that this is where like snow and ice got kind of piled up on it over the winter time. Here's my second of 3 winter creepers. This one does have a couple dead branches that need to be pruned off, and I think this area also got hit worse from the snow. I wanted to back it up here. So this is where I had one of my my euphorbias, my Ascot rainbow euphorbia. So in one of my last videos last year, I posted about how excited I was about these and one of my favorite plants, but unfortunately I lost this one, and I lost the one that was over here. So euphorbias are rated for zone 7, and this is 6B, and I just don't think they can handle our snow and ice and our cold and winds in the wintertime. This was an Artemisia. I believe this was Powis Castle. I pruned this back and nothing's happening. It did feel pretty wet, I'd say. It felt pretty soft. The wood of this felt pretty soft when I was pruning it, so I'm not surprised by that. So that's going to come out. This was where the other blue spruce globosa was last year that I pulled out in the fall. So I have this area to play with. Got a 9-bark. This is the other Sargentii allium, and then this is the other winter creeper. And then here's my little dwarf Alberta spruce. It's putting on a ton of growth only at the front here, not so much here on the side where it gets hit by wind, or the back, and it's got a little discoloration. So this is the lawn real quick after mowing it 2 times on Sunday. So lawn's looking good. It doesn't have the color that I would like, and I think it's mostly due to the fact that I have not been able to cut it except for about once a week because of the amount of rain we've been getting, and I don't like to cut that much off at one time. So I've been losing color that way. My plan was to try to get iron down today before the rain, and that's not happening, unfortunately. But I don't have a lot of interesting things to say about the lawn right now. I'll touch on it as I'm walking over to the rest of the front garden here, but I did put down my first app of fungicide. I used the Bayer Bio Advanced fungicide. Ideally, I feel like I need to start getting that down about a month earlier because I tend to start seeing little patches of brown in the grass and little patches of like red thread in the grass around the beginning of May. So it's best to put that stuff down about a month before you notice those things in the lawn. And now that I've done the curative kind of on this, I have to do this first app 2 weeks apart. So I'll be doing my second application 2 weeks apart. Then I'm going to try to move to keeping on my monthly schedule. So I'm going to churn it around here back to the garden bed. Again, this is pretty short. It's barely 3 feet wide, and that's including the pavers. So here's a good look at the front of this Japanese maple. There's 2 of the cool as ice fescues, and here's one of the other 3 on this side. I divided my 2 alliums last year, and I got 9 out of them. They're looking pretty good. Looks like these are maybe just about to start shooting up the beginnings of their buds. This blue dart, I can't remember what it is, but blue dart something. It's got to come out. It's not doing anything. I trimmed it because it was looking shaggy. That's got to come out. And then we got Blue Star Juniper, another Gold Coast Juniper. This is my little Crimson Queen. Not looking great. Again, this was like 20 bucks at Walmart. And I didn't notice it at the time. I wasn't paying attention. I was just excited that they had one. And I didn't really pay attention to the graft here. That looks real bad. So not sure if that's going to make it or not, but it's a good learning experience for me. I still need to trim off the rootstock on this one. And we got the 3 Carl Foresters, and I did trim these up a month and a half ago. They're looking better, but for me, I wanted the Carl Foresters that are 4, 5, 6 feet tall right off the bat. And I think the only way for me to get those is to buy them already that tall or close to it. So I'm just not sure if these are going to get there. I still have a weed in here that I've been meaning to pull. And then here's some more of the alliums. And then the interesting thing over here in this corner is, well, these are Elijah Blue fescues, so you can really see the night and day difference for Elijah Blues. This one I trimmed last year, never came back, but Elijah Blue, cool as ice. Get them in the frame here. There's just no comparison. And even if these were all color, these would be more on the green side, whereas those definitely have more of a blue hue. And then the big surprise here is that I'm pretty sure my hydrangeas have finally died here. So I pruned these about a month ago. I pruned them and the wood was green where I trimmed everything. But now I'm seeing, and I'm not sure if you can pick this up, but it looks like there's little spots of mold here or mildew in all these. And there's only been like 2, 3 buds on everything. You can see them right here. Actually, this might have put out another bud since yesterday. Actually, no, this put out about 4. There was only 1 or 2 here, and I'm seeing 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 on this guy, which nothing to get excited about. And then this one also just has the one little one right there. So if we are here in the fall, these will be coming out, and I'll put something else here. But until then, I will be removing these Elijah Blues. Not sure if I'll put anything there or not, but if I don't have to remove these, I won't, and I will even just leave the dead branches here for now, I think. I don't really want to put a whole lot of thought or money into this corner at this time. So that is the update on the flower bed, the garden bed. There's no flowers here. And then this is the update on the lawn. Not a whole lot to say, not a lot of interesting things going on here. Thankfully, the lawn is healthy. So yeah, that's the only thing that I would say. I wish I had more color. I would like to get another app of iron down. And then This is just your friendly reminder to get your fungicide down. So I'm going to make a separate video on that just to have that more concise. But that is the state of things here. My plan going forward also for this is, I think what I need to do is get uncomfortably comfortable with growing Japanese maples and conifers in containers and trying to keep them alive throughout the Michigan winter somehow. Whether that's going to be keeping them in my garage over winter or something, I'm not sure. Let me end this here and I'll turn it around. All right, so that's the front garden and the front lawn tour here for the beginning of May 2026. I think that's about it. Don't have a lot much more to show, but I'm a little bit out of practice because I haven't made too many videos yet this year. So I've been editing and I realized that I forgot to do like a sign off to end the video. So that's it. I'll see you in the next one. I do want you to know that I'm working on about 2 other videos, so I do have some things in the process, but this one's going to go out first because I know this is the first one I'm editing. So I will see you shortly. Thanks.